Hi guys, this is the second video of the Mastery setup. I hope that the first one helped you out with the offense. Now we will be going over the defense Mastery setup, or at least the defense Masteries in general, and I will give you ideas as to how you can go about setting these up and what they are for, and if I have discovered any useful the different Masteries or not. To refresh memories, my offense tree looks like this. At the moment I'm running Suicide Masteries. You see them here. I'll start here. I'm running Double Edge, and therefore Double Edge makes your champions bleed for up to 20% health for 16 seconds. However, running Coagulate minimizes that bleed by 30%, which means that you're losing, instead of 10% health, you'll be losing about, depending on how long the fight takes, maybe 3 to 4 to 5% health in a fight during those 16 seconds. Having a champ that can regenerate from bleeds is fantastic to have if you're running Willpower. Willpower is right here. For each new type of debuff, your champ will get extra armor and they will regenerate health. Willpower 3 out of 3 is a given in my world. And then of course if you're running Willpower, you'll be running Recovery to increase that by 15%. Of course, Recovery must be full. Carrying on up here, which is at the wrong end of this, but I think it's going to be okay. Suture is unnecessary to have, I think. It is a waste of points. You'll be spending a lot of points in and a lot of units on cores just to, for something you actually don't need, to be perfectly honest. Choose better champs comes to mind, right, as a piece of advice. Inequity, great mastery to have. Every debuff you can place on your enemy, then you'll be decreasing their attack. Alright, so up to 36%, of course. A point in inequity, great to have if you're running champs like, for example, Elsa or Fury, Archangel, anyone that puts debuffs on Void, for example. For example, Void, you increasing his attack by a heck of a lot if you're running Inequity and Resonate. He'll be taking less damage because of Inequity, and he will be doing at least 25% more damage by running Resonate, because every time he hits, not every time he hits, but every time he hits his opponent, he has a chance to inflict them with a non-stacking weakness debuff. And that actually, you get that debuff quite a lot just from having 1 point here. You never want more than 1 point here, because as you can see, you're going from a 16% chance to an 18% chance with 3 points. It's a waste of points to have more than one there. Great to have this tree. There. Great tree to have. I run that in map 7 because, or at least I ran that in map 7 because I had those lanes where I had to have a weakness debuff on champs to be able to do damage, I think it was. But definitely not necessary if you don't want to run it. Collar Tech, good to have if you're running tech champs for any reason. If you're running tech champs as your entire team, fit them with Collar Tech, it stuffs quite a bit of power. You can fight for ages with Collar Tech on. Serum Science, pointless. Don't waste points there. Let's start at this end now. Vitality and greater vitality. Now these two are once again for those that don't have many points in their masteries to use. They maybe have champs that have got low health pools and they would put some health there. There is some little trick where you max out your glass cannon and then you go here and you put, I think it's 7 points in here, so to get the health back, 9 points or whatever it is to get the 7.2% health back. What a waste of points. Don't do that ever. Rather invest in things like block proficiency, always 4 points. I mean, you got 800 extra block. That's thank you and accept and move on. Perfect block, good to have. If you've got warlock, there's so many times you're going to block and there's just no damage done. Fantastic. And I would guess Colossus is more or less the same. Stand your ground if you're running Mole Man, 2 points. Don't have more than 2 points in stand your ground. If you are getting hit with heavies, work on your spacing. And don't let them hit into your block. If they do hit into your block, back up 1. Simple as that. 2 points here if you're running Mole Man, otherwise don't have any points there. Why for Mole Man? Yeah, because then you can block unblockable attacks. Energy resistance. I've ran 4 points in energy resistance so many times, I have not seen a difference. There may be a slight difference that I don't see. I have not watched videos where I've ran it in slow motion and compared them side by side with anything. Bugger it. 1 point there because you are after physical resistance, if that is what you're after. Right, physical resistance with this one gives you a little bit of extra oomph. It makes your champs a little bit meatier. As you can see, I don't have the points there. It's still the setup where that's where most of my points have gone to. I'm dawdling a little bit in Abyss, practice some new champs and get them so I can use them better. Right, so a quick rundown, because this has been a short video. 1 point in vitality because you don't need more. 1 point in greater vitality because you don't need more. If you're running 4, 5, 6 star champs, 1 point. You are wasting points if you have anything more than that. Top of the tree here, Salva. You are literally, if you have 3 points here, watching 4 health tick into a 25,000 health pool champ, provided that they're 5 star R5, twice every second for 60 seconds. You understand that basically you're giving them a few hundred health for the 25,000 health pool, and then potentially adding 15% onto it. But you wasted 2 points there by doing that. I wish Salva would go away because it's one that we don't need. And then, like we said, recovery is great if you're running willpower, which is great if you're going to get debuffs on you. Armor break, oh fantastic, your champ's just going to heal like mad. Okay, so where were we? Energy resistance, 1 point because I don't see the difference between 1 and 4. Even in low energy resistance champs. Physical resistance, I see some difference. Your champs end up being a bit meatier. Yeah, it's good to have. Block proficiency, that is a must, 4 points. Perfect block, at least 2 points, in my opinion, depending on the champ. I run 4 because I'm after longer stuns. I'll get into that with the proficiencies masteries. Stand your ground, 2 points if you're running Mole Man, nothing if you're not running him. Collar Tech if you use tech champs often. Yeah, you will benefit from Collar Tech. That is a good mastery to have. Every time you hit, you're giving your opponent less health, less health, less power. Who wouldn't like that? Serum Science, pointless mastery. Don't put points there. Willpower, particularly useful if you're running suicide masteries. Only useful otherwise if you are going to get debuffs on you. If it's not going to happen often, don't have points there. Maybe one. But yeah. Coagulate, if you're not running suicides, choose correct champs instead of taking champs that can bleed against bleed champions, right? These are not masteries that you want to use if you're not running suicides. Suture, pointless having. Inequity, good to have if you're going to place a lot of debuffs on your opponent, because you decrease their attack by up to 30%, 36% I think it is. And then in that case 1 point in willpower if you're running non-suicide masteries. Resonate, random in map 7, puts a weakness on your opponent, and more points is basically just more chance, and yeah, you don't need more than 1 point in Resonate. It comes often enough as it is. It's a very, very lovely thing to have. If you're running Void, 25% extra attack right off the bat there. Thank you. If you look here at Aunt May, brilliant website. You can see here I gave a guy an idea of how to run some masteries, and there's no suicide masteries active here, yet I have 3 points here for if there were to be any debuffs on the champions, and then I've recommended these two. There's the 2 points for Moleman, for example, full physical resistance, 4 points there, 4 points there, 1-1. And there's still plenty here for even Mystic Dispersion. So this is actually quite an okay defensive setup. It's not good to have if you're running suicides, but then you would take, for example, from there, because you'd be fighting shorter fights, and then put them in here. And you would want some points there too. But like I said before, if you are not running suicides, your fights are longer. So you have to place more in defense in case you make a mistake, in case you get hit by a bug, and you have to give yourself prerequisites to be able to do more damage, alternatively get your opponent to do less damage, and that's what you have here. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the defense masteries, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.